Alright, hi everybody, this is Mr. Zarzak, and in this screencast I'm going to take you through the equipment that you'll need to complete the Circuits 1 lab, where you'll discover what criteria is required for a complete circuit. This is a picture of a more complicated circuit, and we'll get to that much later. So, let's begin. This lab picks up from our exploration of voltage. And what you're seeing here in this picture is an original voltaic pile, so this is one of the original batteries. You'll be working with something a little bit slicker today, but the concept is the same. Batteries store energy in the form of electrical potential energy, and the way that we rate batteries is by electric potential or voltage. The batteries that you'll be using today are all rated at 1.5 volts. I like to introduce this lab with this quote from Thomas Edison, who says, "I've not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Well, today you're going to be finding some ways that make a light bulb light up in a simple circuit, and you'll be looking at some ways that don't, in the hopes that you'll understand the criteria for what's required in a circuit. Alright, so your equipment in this lab is very simple. Okay, you've got a little piece of wire. The outside will have like a rubberized coating that's an insulating coating, and then the end sticking out here, that's your metal, that's your conductive path. So the conductive path is on the inside of the insulator. Okay, then you'll have a little battery. That's a little AA battery that has two sides or terminals. This is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. And then you'll have this light bulb. This is called an incandescent bulb. Alright, so there's a couple of features. There's the glass on the outside. This up here is a thin wire called a filament. These grooves are where you would screw a wire into the socket, and then down here you can see there's a little dark part. This is actually a piece of glass, which is an insulator, and then there's a little metal nub down in here on the bottom. Okay, so there's two metal parts, all right, separated by this glass or insulating part. Okay. This arrangement for light bulbs is pretty common with these incandescent lamps. So we've got this metal part, then there's this insulating piece here, and then there's another metal part here that conducts. So two conductive parts separated by an insulator. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to really quickly draw the different circuit components just like you'll do in the lab. Alright, so first the battery. For the battery, I'm just going to make a little oval shape. I bring a couple lines down, and then a little semicircle, and then I'm going to put an extra little circle here at the top. This is to show that this is the part of the battery with that little nub sticking out, which is the positive terminal. Down below here, on the underneath part, okay, that's the negative terminal. There's actually a little piece of exposed metal that you can see on the bottom of the battery, but this is good enough for what we need. Okay, and in fact, you don't even necessarily have to put the positive and the negative labels. As long as you got that little extra circle up on the top here, okay, that's enough to indicate that this is the positive side. Okay, so next the light bulb. All right, there's a bunch of different parts of the light bulb, so I'm going to start by just drawing a little rectangle here, and that's going to represent the part that we would actually screw into a socket. I'm not going to draw the little grooves that would screw into that socket. It's not necessary for a picture. Instead, I'm just going to draw a semicircular little glass. That's the glass globe. Okay, this little piece coming out that looks like an upside down U, that's the filament. That's the little wire, okay, that lights up when the light bulb is actually lit. Down underneath here, I'm going to draw a trapezoid. Okay, and I'm going to fill it in. That's to represent that little glass insulator. And then down at the bottom, another little nub like that. That's that little conductive part on the bottom. Okay, and so for my wires, you can do this all in the same color. If it's easier for you to do it in a different color, great. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'll just pick a different color for my wires. I'll go red. Okay, so if I wanted to connect the positive terminal to the glass, I would show it like that. All right, and if that was one of my examples, that would be done. If I had more than one wire, okay, I could show this going to, say, this little nub on the bottom. I could show this going to the little glass cylinder. I could show this going to this metal part. Okay, so those are the basic kind of diagrams. It doesn't need to be complicated, all right? The lab asks you to make drawings of 3 working circuits and 3 non-working circuits. Okay, and so the point is that when you are making these drawings, they should be done so with a purpose. The diagrams that you present for cases where the light bulb does light up should demonstrate some unique rule or requirement of a circuit. Okay, and hopefully from playing around in the lab you'll be able to figure that out. Likewise, the diagrams that you show that don't produce a light bulb that lights up should also be done with a purpose. So some part of the light bulb itself, or the battery, or the wires, or something in the configuration that fails to meet the criteria for a working circuit, that should be demonstrated in the picture. Okay? Alright, this is Mr. Zarzak, and this has been the Circuits 1 Lab tutorial. Just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.